And now for a preview of the elaborate memorial in Los Angeles today, we turn to Courtney Hazlett, a pop culture columnist for MSNBC.com, and Ian Halperin, the author of the upcoming book, Unmasked, the Final Years of Michael Jackson. Good morning to both of you. Nice to have you here.
Morning, Natalie.
And Courtney, as we've heard, this is going to be a massively orchestrated, highly produced memorial service. I know that the organizers of the comeback concert are going to be, they're involved in this as well. Tell us about the production side, what we expect to see, who's going to be performing.
You can expect to see, first of all, Natalie, a highly produced show. Ken Ehrlich, who's produced Emmys and Grammys shows, is the producer who was brought into this sort of at the last minute, just a few days ago. And then in terms of performance, Jennifer Hudson, Stevie Wonder, John Mayer, they're all going to be performing. I'm told that we might be hearing them perform some of Michael Jackson's songs and possibly songs that we were going to hear for the first time in London during those concerts. The organizers of the London concerts told me it was important to imbue this memorial with the spirit and the vision that Michael had for those London concerts.
Is this going to be then, Courtney, a somber occasion, or is it going to be more a celebration of his life and all that he gave us?
At the end of the day, this is still a Jackson family production, and so I do think that while there is a somber mood to this very clearly, they still want it to be a happy memorial and a remembrance in the spirit of the message Michael Jackson wanted to get across, and that was one that was encouraging and really full of life. So I think it will toe the line, but definitely lean a little bit more toward, a celebration.
And a lot of people asking and wondering if Jermaine Jackson and the other Jackson brothers, the Jackson 4 now, will be performing as well. Do you know anything about that?
There's definitely a lot of talk about Jermaine Jackson, and I was told there was conversations about having Prince Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson's son, take the stage today as well. It's very unclear whether that will happen. I'm told that was a big source of debate within the family. But I heard that also in London, Prince might have been making his musical debut. So they're trying to really bring a lot of the London spirit here to this memorial today. So it wouldn't be a surprise.
Ian, let me bring you in because your book is about to come out, and you actually predicted before all of this that Michael Jackson would not survive this year. What gave you that feeling?
Well, I've infiltrated this camp for several years, and they gave me all indications that Michael was not in good health. He'd become extremely depressed over the last few years. He'd become addicted to prescription drugs. And all that he really had left in his life was the love for his 3 children. He was an incredible father, an incredible human being. And, originally I was furious when I heard that he was acquitted of the child molestation charges, and I set out to prove that he was guilty. And after interviewing thousands of people, I was wrong. He's innocent. He's not a child molester. His legacy and music is indelible. It's going to live on forever. And I think, there's a lot of unequivocal nonsense being bandied about right now about Michael Jackson, and let's put it all aside today. Let's celebrate this incredible person and human being's legacy and his art, and let's all just pay tribute to an incredible human being, and that's what I do in my book.
And let me
there is just no shred of evidence that he ever molested children.
And let me ask you finally, in terms of his place in history, as you talked about his legacy, when we talk about legends and king of pop as he's been called, you think of Elvis, you think of John Lennon. Where do you put Michael Jackson, Ian?
Well, Michael's the first guy to admit he'd go really further than Elvis and John Lennon, who are 2 incredible musicians, but we got to look further to Little Richard, to people like Muddy Waters, and even before that, great blues artists like Jack Johnson. And Michael was a real historian. He knew everything about pop culture. He loved Renaissance art. He was the real deal. He lived and breathed art. And today, I think it's fantastic that all these people are getting together right around the world and celebrating the incredible impact and the art that Michael Jackson contributed to this world.
And it's certainly great to see a new generation of children being introduced to the music of Michael Jackson. Sadly, though, it had to come to this from this means. Thank you very much, Courtney Hazlett, Ian Halperin. Thank you both. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure.